We live in a very weird time in gaming, especially now in 2025. We have seen a lot of debate about how much a game should cost to buy, if you can buy it, if you can just rent it, if you can have physical copies, if you can be happy without just owning anything. And we have seen bloated budgets being used as an excuse to have a game cost more and more, while we have games that are with a fraction of what a AAA title would cost, delivering 10 times the better performance and entertainment and escapism. And now we have even more of that coming in 2026, as it would seem. Greetings, ladies and gents, my name is Hiezo, the bearded Balkan blabbermouth, and I am DiscussThing, and today we're going to be talking about Grand Theft Auto 6, the upcoming for so many years now next game for Rockstar, and how it might potentially cost upwards to $100 to buy, and that it really doesn't have anything, in my opinion, that would excuse such a price. But before we continue, if you enjoy my content, if you enjoy what I do, please consider subscribing and becoming even a member of the DiscussThing Guild, and thus helping the channel grow directly and helping homeless animals in shelters. We have a lot of posts about feeding cats and feeding animals in general, and we also do monthly donation streams. Thank you very much, and now back to the video. This is from, and I kid you not, IGN. I told you we live in a weird time because this is the second video in a row that I'm referencing IGN as a source, but whatever. Not all games are created equal. Original Saints Row dev says GTA 6 deserves to be $100. I'm currently playing Silksong, which is $20, and I'm having the time of my life, more than with almost any other game in recent years, with the exclusion of Expedition 33, which was $45. As the debate over the price of Grand Theft Auto 6 rages on, one developer of the original Saints Row, itself heavily inspired by GTA, has said that he hopes Rockstar charges $100 for it, insisting it's the only game in the world that can get away with it. I don't think any game can get away with $100, especially when, again, Expedition 30 costs $45 and it's pretty much the game of the decade so far. Strauss Zelnick, boss of Rockstar parent company Take-Two, is often asked how much Rockstar will charge for what is expected to be the biggest entertainment launch of all time. This is very sus. I don't think that this is going to be the best entertainment launch of all time, but sure. And each time he's asked, Zelnick dances around the question, pointing to delivering value for customers. Well, one thing I'm gonna say about Rockstar, they might actually deliver an amazing game. They might actually deliver something that people will be playing for years, as they're doing with Grand Theft Auto 5. But again, none of that so far excuses a $100 price. Adding fuel to the scrutiny is the industry's from $70 to $80 for some games. If Nintendo is charging $80 for Nintendo Switch 2 games like Mario Kart World, and Microsoft, as many expect, jumps to $80 for its games from next year, after backtracking on doing just that this year, then it's hard to see GTA 6 priced any cheaper. Actually, we can easily see Rockstar pricing it much lower if they wanted to. You don't need to cater to these industry norms or whatever. You need to cater to what you want to deliver for customers. If you price Grand Theft Auto 6 for, let's say, $60 with these new heavily forcibly imposed norms for game prices, I'm sure that you will sell more copies and you get more profit in the long run, especially if the game is good. Fans often balk at the idea of forking out $100 for GTA 6, but according to Chris Stockman, the design director of the first Saints Row game, GTA 6 deserves to be $100. In an interview with Esports Insider, Stockman responded to the question that GTA 6 will be the first $100 video game. And now we quote, "They're the only ones that can get away with it." Why? Stockman said, "I don't think it's a rising tide that floats all boats. I think that there will be a tremendous amount of backlash if everyone switched to $100. Not all games are created equal. I think GTA is the only one that can get away with it, and I hope they do. I really hope it's $100. I think it deserves to be $100. So how would you say that you think it's $100? Let's start with this. If you think that it deserves $100, then you must know something we don't. You must have seen a lot of the game, and you must think that this surely will be the quality that everyone will be happy to pay $100, right? Or you want it to be because you just really think that they can get away with it, but they shouldn't get away with it. Why would they get away? Because of the budget? Actually, yes. Another quote: the scope and magnitude of this production deserves that price tag, but not everything is treated equal. It will be a disaster if anyone tried to match them. So the scope and magnitude of the development, to me, that sounds the money that has been poured into the game. And yeah, I've read that Grand Theft Auto is probably going to be the most, or close to the most expensive game ever to be created. But how does that equal quality? I mean, we have seen games that cost 200, 300, 400 million allegedly that have flopped. Assassin's Creed Shadows, Dragon Age the Valkyrie, they each cost well over $100 million and upwards to 200 or 300 if you believe the rumors. And at the same time, we have seen games like Schedule 1, like Expedition 33, like Hollow Knight Silksong and the first Hollow Knight, Split Fiction, now Megabong, which costs almost nothing if you have seen the videos. And all these games are crushing it, along with a lot of other games. They're crushing the market, they're crushing the web stores, they're crushing everything, and they're bringing a lot more players and buyers. So how would you describe Grand Theft Auto to be deserving of $100? Because I'm now currently playing Hollow Knight Silksong, as I mentioned, and it cost $20, and I didn't even buy it, I was gifted it. And it's an amazing game, it's an amazing experience. Same with Expedition 33, Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon, that was $50. I'm having an amazing time with games that cost way cheaper than the industry standard that we're currently having. And if you think that GTA costing $100 is not going to raise the prices of other games, you're solely mistaken. Because if they get away, as you said, with $100 of a game, there will be a lot of other studios that say we're going to bring more and more than 6, and we're going to be even greater. We're going to pour even more money into our game, so you should pay not $100, $120, $130, $140, and that's without the DLC. And then you get mini transactions and stuff like that. It's never going to end. It's never going to fucking end, and you're just going to keep raising in prices artificially, and pretty soon you won't have anyone buying your games, and everyone will go to the indie side of games. They'll pay 10, 15, 20 bucks. They'll go and join a Kickstarter, they'll get a free copy or something like that, and they'll enjoy simply going to be a bad game. No, we haven't seen enough of the game to have an idea what exactly is going to be. It might be the greatest game, it might be an amazing game, we have seen some pretty nice stuff happening. So until we know more, we won't have the information needed to see if this even deserves $50, let alone 100. And an inflated budget is not something to stand behind to excuse a game costing more. It's not our fault that you're pouring so much money. If you pour the money into the right thing, then yes. If you're pouring it into the greatest escapism adventure of all time, if you're pouring the money into assuring that it's going to bring the ultimate gamer satisfaction on every front, then okay. However, Expedition 33 kind of did that for 2025, so you have to one-up them in that regard. Stockman here is saying the sheer scope of GTA will be of a magnitude higher than any other game before it, so it's going to be more expensive, and it's going to probably be a huge map or something like that. Certainly, it's rumored to have the largest development budget of all time. This is exactly what I said. Rockstar has barely shown any of the game. Again, something that I just said before reading this. So it's unclear exactly how big and varied an experience it will be, but it seems like a safe bet that barring the worst disaster in video game history, GTA 6 will rewrite the record books when it comes to critical and commercial acclaim. You know what? I actually hope that they succeed. I actually hope that they continue the streak of good games of Grand Theft Auto ever since the first one, and I do hope that GTA 6 with its budget, at least the budget goes to the right place. And again, none of this excuses a $100 price tag. You don't charge customers more just because you wanted to develop more. You can charge customers more if you bring them more satisfaction. If they bring the ultimate, and I do mean again the absolute ultimate peak of gaming, with the current prices, yes, possibly we can talk about a high end of a price. However, $100 to me for a game is way too much. And with the way life is, with the way the world is going, with the way inflation is growing, I don't think that you'll get that many customers paying that much money for any game, for absolutely any game, even if it is the greatest experience in time. But is the world ready for this jump to $100? Earlier this year, a $100 GTA 6 was mooted by Epilion CEO and analyst Matthew Bow in a lengthy presentation of the state of gaming in 2025. Near the end of the presentation, Bow said that some game makers hope GTA 6 will be priced at $80, $100, breaking the $70 barrier, which this barrier was actually put this year. And helping $50 titles to move up to $60 from $60 to $70 and etc. Package game prices have never been lower in real terms than they are today. He's probably counting the inflation and stuff like that. Even though budgets are at an all-time high, that is not the fault of gamers, and player growth is stalled. It's stalled because they're not buying your games. GTA 6 could re-establish package video game prices after decades of deflation despite rampant cost growth. This is such bullshit, by the way. It's not a deflation. You're raising prices. We, as the end consumer, as the one who gets the final product, we only see one thing: increases in price. We don't fucking care how much budgets you have put aside for your game. If you bring us quality, we will pay. And gamers are not paying because what is generally delivered for the higher prices is not good. That's why we go to indie games. That's why Hollow Knight Silksong is currently still breaking records. That's why Expedition 33 broke records. That's why Schedule 1 in its own right broke records. That's why you don't get a solitary slice of the pie anymore, because you have games that cost less, provide more, and give us more satisfaction than your games. That's it. And until big game developers learn that this is what we need and this is what we want, a jump in prices will never be accepted by gamers. It will never. It won't. That's why a lot of triple game titles will continue to fail. And that is, in my opinion, why indie titles will continue to soar, overtaking more and more of the gaming industry. But anyways, that's all I have for this video today. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy my content, consider leaving a like, subscribing to the channel, leaving a comment, and possibly becoming a channel member. You're helping the channel grow directly, and you're helping homeless animals and animals in shelters, while also getting some pretty nice pictures and videos of cat feeding on the membership side of this channel. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Kelso. This was DiscussThing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers and stay fresh.